I went to see the movie Zero Dark 30 this morning. I really enjoyed it. Let me get the politics out of the way. If you're a big President Obama supporter, you might be uncomfortable with a little bit of it, but he doesn't appear in the movie. And I'll let you slide over there, white car. He doesn't appear in the movie, and there's, just references to the president. If you're a George Bush fan, it does have a lot of enhanced interrogation in it, and it shows the CIA obtaining information using it that helped on the raid. It was actually a key breakthrough in finding bin Laden. Came from one of the three people, and there were only three, one of the three people who were waterboarded. I will say this, some of the enhanced interrogation techniques looked familiar, because anybody who's been an aircrew member in the Air Force, and probably the other services too, has experienced them. So there was no fingernails pulled out or broken bones. They didn't have anybody from North Vietnam there. Okay, enough of that. So it does have some pretty intense enhanced interrogation scenes. The movie is mostly about the CIA. There was a lady, a female CIA agent, who was very key in analyzing the intelligence that led to bin Laden, and she was involved heavily in the raid itself. And you can read about her in Mark Bowen's book, No Easy Day. She's the central character of this movie. I think she's probably a little more central than reality, but we can consider her a composite to some extent, although she is based on a real person. I don't think there's quite as much screaming at each other in the halls of the CIA as happens in this movie. We'll just chalk that up to Hollywood. But it's a very intense movie. It is very reality based. The story goes through real events over the last years leading up to bin Laden's execution. Some of them are pretty painful to watch when you see innocent people getting blown up by terrorists. I'd say the acting is superb. The only big star that I recognize in here is James Gandolfini, the guy who was Tony Soprano, is in it. He plays Leon Panetta and does a great job. Panetta was the CIA chief. I think they shortchanged the military just a little bit in terms of the amount of time that was allocated to the raid itself. Most of the movie is about, the first half of the movie is about finding bin Laden. Then the second quarter is about, or the third quarter is about convincing the powers that be that he's really there in that house, and they should go ahead and do some kind of raid or bombing mission on it. And only the last, I don't know, half hour or less of the movie is the actual raid itself. The story in the movie is they go out to Area 51, woohoo, and they show the a SEAL team, these stealth helicopters. Then the next thing you see, they're taking off on the raid. Now they spend I think almost real time on the amount of raid it took, and people, you will notice when they do the raid, the raid itself is not quite as action-packed as a pure Hollywood version might be. In other words, they go a little bit slower and more methodically through that house, which I suspect is more real. Then they just run through the hall screaming and kicking down doors and stuff like Tom Cruise would do. It's a very exciting movie. It's 157 minutes long, so it's a long movie. But you won't want to get up out of your seat. There's no good place to take a bathroom break. The whole movie's very interesting. So, that's my little mini review of Zero Dark 30. It's in theaters near you now. Highly recommended.